Hello, Thomas Yelloweyes here with Night Train Pickleball, and today I'm starting a new series called Mindset Mondays. And what I'm talking about in this series is going to be basically what's just going on between the ears. This has come from a lot of clinics and lessons in the game of pickleball with students and things that I run across regularly when I'm teaching. And so before we get started, I wanted to just say that a lot of what I'm going to be talking about, at least today and probably the next couple of weeks, is going to come out of the Fearless book by Brindley Shapiro, Inspiring Greatness from Within. I've been on this journey of sports performance training with the mind for some years now, and this is probably one of the best books that I've run across. And of course, we'll probably talk about other books as we go through the series. But for now, this is the book that I have read. It probably is my second time around, and I've had a few students read it, and they've given me great feedback on it as well. So I know it's one, and it's one we're going to pull from today to talk about. So this one, if you're interested in, will be in the description below. There'll be a link that you can just jump over to order it if you're interested. Okay, so we'll set that down for now. So let's talk about our first Mindset Monday, which is awareness. Okay, so when you become aware of what's happening on the court, and normally this is not a negative initially, right? So we're looking at being stressed, pressured, anxious on the court during play, right? Regardless of what part of the game it is, you're starting to feel these things. The very first thing that we need to do is become aware that this is happening, okay? When we become aware, that's an emotional intelligence thing that when we become aware, it becomes easier to know than that I need to have step 2, step 3, step 4, those type of things. So the next thing we need to understand is that the mind leads the body. But even more important is you can train the mind the same way that you can train the body. And that's something that probably a lot of players are not aware of, but you definitely can do that, okay? The next thing is we want to create a blueprint. So you're going to create a plan beforehand when you know these situations are probably going to occur during competition, during rec play, whatever it may be. And then you can, when you start creating a plan, you can start practice just like when you're drilling, right? You can practice this. So when you start feeling pressured, you start feeling anxious on the court, you can actually, because of the blueprint, because you've created a plan before, and you can start practicing those same techniques with the mind that you can with the body, right? And then number 4, you can start creating results that you want. So once you become aware, once you understand that the mind leads the body, and once you create a blueprint, once you create a plan and you start practicing it, then you can start creating the results that you want. Anytime these challenges come up, you can change the direction of those in that moment, right? So it's another important thing to consider is that we don't want to focus on winning or losing. We want to focus on what's happening in the moment. When you're happening in the moment, and then you break it down even more of I'm going to focus on just executing the shot that I need to hit. All of a sudden, the game takes on a whole nother. It's going to feel different to you the minute you get away from winning or losing to executing, and then when you start working on executing, and you start becoming aware of these things and you start putting them in place, you're going to notice a huge difference and a huge perspective shift on the way you play a game. So the last couple of things I want to share with you today is, if you can see it and you believe it and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it, then you can achieve it. Okay? Get a lot of players who can see it, but there's a few other things that need to happen there. But I think it's awesome. I think that's something you can sit on and resonate. Let that resonate with you for a little bit. And then, of course, this is probably the game changer for me at the beginning of the book, before I even got started, was our thoughts drive our feelings, which then result in our behaviors and our actions, of which there are consequences, good or bad. And this is a thing that I see a lot during competition and a lot during lessons is our feelings. We get caught in our feelings, and we either are not aware of it or we're aware of it, but we don't have a plan to redirect it. And that's where we run into a lot of trouble. And so a lot of times that's where some of my students get stuck, is right there in their feelings. And so when it comes to the mindset, they get to that point, and when I know we get to that point, we're pretty much done. But it's when you make that shift, then all of a sudden other skills and other aspects of the game are allowed to come in. All right, well, that was really quick. I just wanted to share this as our first Mindset Monday on awareness. We'll dive deeper into some of these topics over the next few weeks. Again, Thomas Shellwise with Night Train Pickleball. We'll see you in the next video.